before we get to the Celtics, we have to talk about Jimmy motherfucking Butler, Jimmy Beasy. Unbelievable. He is just stringing together what feels like all-time performance after all-time performance tonight. He had 35, 5, 7 assists, and was it 6 steals?
6 steals. 6 steals.
Including 2 in the last 4 minutes of the game, where he looked like Ed Reed just dropping back into fucking coverage, like with the wingspan of a dragon.
You feel right.
The question before this series, I think all three of us talked about was, is Jimmy Butler enough to just make it happen? And the answer in game 1 was yes. What did you think of the way he played?
I'm just amazed at how he continues to amaze me, if that makes sense. Right? Because, we saw his run on the bubble. I was like, okay, this is the best postseason he ever had. We saw his run last year when he took the Celtics 7. I was like, okay, this is the best postseason Jimmy's ever had. We've seen his run this postseason. I'm like, okay, this is the best postseason Jimmy's ever had. It is just remarkable he is just a fucking living cliche. Like, the lights get brighter and he steps his game. Like, he is the dog in a meme personified. You know what I mean? It's just I'm still sticking with the Celtics winning this out because, like I said, I think the talent discrepancy is just gonna be too much, in a 7-game series. But bruh, I don't think any of us would be surprised if the Heat go.
I mean, dog, I feel like if the team just gives him enough to stay close to any team on the planet, you know what I mean? In the fourth quarter, he can always grab the reins. You know what I mean? It's like, you're guaranteed, that 3, no business going in. But of course, Jimmy Butler hits it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the most annoying way the 3 is going to go down for a Celtics fan for sure. But yeah, dog, I mean, it's crazy to see him continually in the big moments just step up. And I don't think he's just shining. I think he actually shining brighter. I think he wants the moment. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, fourth quarter is my time. This is what I do. Y'all sit back. I'm going to literally make everything that I put up. And he does it in the ways that don't make sense. Like, he has good size, but he's more like 6'7". How is he 2-hand layups in the paint with you know what I'm saying? The mid-range is crazy. It's just he doesn't do it in the way that you think people are supposed to do it in 2023. It's so, everything he does is so him, and he's just so good at it, G. It's crazy.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. Angie doesn't just get your home projects done. Angie gets them done well. With 20 plus years of experience combined with new tools to simplify the process, Angie makes completing home projects easy. My wife and I own our house. We definitely have the home improvement bug. Been doing a lot of work on the house lately, and I will for sure be using Angie because instead of calling around, getting quotes from all these different places, like we just had turf put in the backyard, it took me 3 weeks just to get the quotes. We can pop our zip code and the project we want done into Angie, and boom, we got the quotes for the different contractors who can do the work right there.
With over 220,000 pros in our network, Angie makes it easy to research, compare, and hire pros to ensure a job well done.
Angie can help you get the best price for your project. Angie has projects that are priced up front and clearly lays out the cost before you buy. Angie has cost guides that will tell you what others have paid for similar projects, both nationally and in your area as well. With Angie, you can request quotes from multiple pros in just a few taps.
The pros in our network are locally based. The pros have been rated and reviewed by others in your area who have actually used their services.
In just a few taps in the Angie app or clicks on the website, you can have Angie tackle your home service project from start to finish, or you can research and connect with local pros for your specific project. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com. Jackson, Celtics fan, not happy to be producing this podcast right now. Really looking at me like he absolutely hates my fucking guts. A little research from Jackson. The Celtics are
tripping because he's smelling Jimmy Butler's nuts right now. Bro.
The Celtics
all across the Celtics nation,
all across the nose region.
Jackson has messaged that the Celtics are now 10-11 in their last 21 home playoff games. What happened to Boston, Jackson? People used to be afraid to play in Boston. What happened to the Magic, Jackson?
I hate all of you. I hate all of you. I hate producing this podcast. I hate the sport of basketball. I'm so unhappy.
Hey, Kyrie came through and saged that motherfucker and stepped on Lucky's nose, and shit ain't been the same since, dog.
Hey, shit ain't been the same for Kyrie either since. Okay, what the fuck's Kyrie done since then?
Yeah, there's that too.
He drove the white devilry out of Boston, and the Celtics have not had home court advantage ever since. Jackson, do you think it was a good decision or a mistake for the Celtics to not hire a head coach for this season?
Jesus.
You know, I really was like, when the Celtics started the season, I forget exactly what their record was, but it was something like 25-5 to start the season, right? The best offense over that many games in the history of the NBA. And I was like, wow, Joey Gumball spinning the plates. He's fucking doing his magician over here.
Prodigy.
Yeah, like they couldn't really. The offense, not defense, was the problem in the finals last season. So I was like, man, this guy's really got these boys humming. Everything is coming together. This is the year. And now I wish he didn't turn him to a pumpkin. But he did.
I feel like a pumpkin might have accidentally called a timeout in the third quarter, though.
Yeah, there's always like, oh, someone's playing chess, someone's playing checkers. Eric Spoelstra is playing chess while Joey Gumball's chewing on gumballs, not realizing there's a board game happening. He's like in a different room. He doesn't even know what's going on.
He's watching the town while the game is on.
Exactly.
You know, he changed the channel for a second. You feel me?
Okay. We have to.
We'll wait on that. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
All right. Okay.
We'll wait on that.
We'll talk about the game. All right. I really want to talk about the other thing, but all right, we'll talk about the game. The Heat outscored the Heat scored 46 points in the third quarter, and the Celtics did not take a timeout. In the fourth quarter, the Celtics got out to, I think it was a 6-0 run. Immediate timeout from Spoelstra. And what happened? They shut the run down. This is such a simple aspect of basketball on every level that I feel like there must be something more going on here that I'm not aware of. But just like, why not take a timeout when you're getting outscored by 21 points in a quarter at home to effectively lose home court advantage? I just don't get it. And I don't even think you can chalk it up to inexperience or whatever else, because like YMCA coaches call timeout when the other team scores 8 in a row, bro.
I was going to say that. Like, I think you could have given him that excuse for the first month even. Because like anytime you're the first time in a new role, you're like, oh, I have to be the one to do that, right? Like he hasn't done that in a long time. But now at this point, we're in the fucking conference finals, and he doesn't know how to press the timeout button. He looks like he's playing a video game and he can't find the button. It's ridiculous.
Bro, if you're playing a video game, like if I'm playing Tyler on 2K, I'm panicking. You know what I mean? I'm like, timeout. We need a TO, bro. We need a timeout, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a just regular dude, it's just insane. But this team is just, I said this when we got on, they're not a professional basketball team, dog. They have too many unserious moments. And they're playing a team that is as professional as it gets. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like they have a coach who's, like you said, playing chess at all times. Bro, they were bullying the Heat first half. You know what I mean? Supposed to win in that motherfucker. Supercomputer got a computer, cooked their ass by over 20 points in the third quarter. And Joey Gumball doesn't even call a timeout, let alone make a fucking adjustment. Seeing that they're fucking food right now. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. But they're just not professionals, G. They have too many unserious moments. They should beat this team. But, like, dog, there is no way they have any business losing like this at home, man. It's just crazy. They were talking about Tatum not touching it in the fourth quarter for sure. Then he turns the ball over 3 times. It's just like, when he does get the ball, it's like, come on, man.
2 traveling calls.
One of them is just like by the third one, I'm like, my nigga, bruh.
He jumps while holding the ball. Like,
it's just, but on the other end, we'll see, you know what I'm saying, Jimmy get in the pivot and then make shit happen. You know what I mean? Get in the paint and then get a shot off. And a guy that, you know, humbly is one of the best basketball players in the world just can't figure that out in moments like that. It's just it's frustrating. You just had 51 in the last game, and my dude, like, what you shot it 5 times in the second half, 6 times. It's frustrating. 4 times, shot it 4 times in the second half. Unreal.
Yeah, I mean, and there was a conversation we had where we were all like, all right, after game 6, we think he's flipped the switch. We think he's figured
He
it out.
found something. Yeah.
Those slow starts aren't going to be a thing anymore. He's getting buckets in the 4th now. We were wrong because what the fuck was he on tonight?
He was cool until the second half. Just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, part of me feels like it's scheming, it's coaching. You got to find ways to get your guy the rock. But bro, like I said, this core has been together since like 2017. Like, you know, getting the ball in Jayson Tatum's hand is not some complicated shit to overcome here. You know what I mean? So I'm just as flabbergasted and dumbfounded as all of us. I have no explanation.
On the third possession, like of him not getting the ball, it was Horford and Jaylen Brown playing, you know, tag in the corner, trying like, my nigga, like, bro, get a ball to the best player on the court, please. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need a bucket. Give it to one of the best bucket getters in fucking basketball. It's just crazy. Crazy. I mean, dude, everybody on the telecast was like, Jayson Tatum hasn't touched the ball in 55 possessions. You know what I mean?
Reggie Miller was like, thank you. Somebody finally said it. Like,
right.
Well, I think, I mean, and I like picking up on little things like this, particularly from color commentators. I think Stan Van Gundy was like, I mean, he was fighting so hard not to say Joe Mazzulla cannot fucking coach. Like, how many times did you hear him say, I'm just surprised that the Celtics are, I mean, it was like,
this is confusing to me. Like, just, you know, like, go ahead, Tyler.
Stan Van Gundy is a coach's coach. He rarely throws coaches under the bus. Because I remember everyone was getting on his ass for when he came to the defense of Steve Nash, like, bro, no, like, this ain't the guy to go to bat for. And then he called a Brooklyn game. He's like, I have no idea what the fuck Steve Nash is doing. Like, he couldn't even defend that guy. Right? So, yeah, if Steve is kind of at his wits' end with you, bro, you're fucking up for real as a coach.
And even with Joey Gumball, man, you see like in the middle of the quarters when they're asking him like what things should be done. It's just, I'm like, I don't know if that's the answer.
Well,
like, you know what I mean?
And okay, and a couple other things, just because it was. I mean,
Shoot more threes, you know,
I was
scoring
cackling.
Transition. I'm like,
I was cackling.
You need to make some get some stops, my nigga.
Half.
Like, you know what I mean?
So he told his team, he walked into a huddle, yelled at them, and then threw his clipboard down and walked away from the huddle, right? Goes back in, and according to the broadcast, what he said was, this is not an X's and O's game. It's a mindset game. Well, first of all, it's at least a little bit of X's and O's game.
You got perhaps the best coach. Yeah, you got perhaps the best coach in the league on the other side. It absolutely is
it's
a little bit of an
in this motherfucker. Right? You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
And then second of all, the biggest adjustment that the Heat made in the third quarter was just getting out in transition. Like, it caught you by surprise that Kevin Love can throw an outlet pass. Like, I know that he was in middle school when he was doing that. UCLA or whatever, but like famously, this is an ability that he has. You know what I mean? Like, they just were so caught.
His middle name
guard.
is Wes. His middle name is Wes after Wes Unseld, the greatest fucking outlet passer ever. Like, and we all know this as basketball fans because it's always been made a big deal about this dude.
Right. So I don't know. It was pretty remarkable. Jackson, any other comments on your head coach before maybe we can talk about it?
No.
It's a safe space.
I mean,
Jackson.
I don't want to clown the guy too hard for like the stuff he's saying in the timeouts, because it's like, obviously it's an X's and O's game, but like that's not the point to way to motivate your team. Like, I actually think I give him a pass for like if you were in the huddle and you were like, guys, if he was like, guys, I fucked up, we got to make this change. Like, that's not any better. Like, I think that is fine. I think, and I'm not trying to like overreact because they lost game 1 of the Sixers, won the series, but it does feel like Tatum doesn't get the ball for however many possessions in a row, turns it over 3 times in a row. It does feel like, despite him being one of the best scorers in the universe, does he have a go-to move? Does he have a way to get a reliable shot at the end of games?
His go-to move tonight was taking 4 steps without dribbling.
Right.
I mean,
like he is.
You're 6'9". That should be your go-to move.
When he's
nigga, shoot over a motherfucker.
He's as dynamic, whatever, all of that. He deserves all. He was the top 4th or whatever in the MVP voting, deservedly so. I'm not saying he's had this fatal flaw that he can't overcome, but it is weird. Like, get Max Strus switched on you, ugly turnover. Like, that should not, even if it's a bad, like a difficult shot, you should be able to like get a look off. It's a little odd sometimes. I'm not trying to like, it's not an indictment on him as a player, but it's like, sometimes I'm like, what's going on over there?
one thing I know about this between him and Jaylen Brown would just go get it. You know what I'm saying? Tatum, he tends to just, like you said, play in the flow. So maybe there's something to say to that. Like if the ball's not flowing through him, like, I mean, we saw him like grab the reins in Game 6 and just like, I'm just getting buckets. Fuck you, mean. You know what I mean? But that's not Jayson Tatum most nights. You know what I mean? He seems like he gets, when I'm watching, he seems like he gets balls like gets buckets like through the flow of the game. So
for sure. And I think, and honestly, look, I don't mean to just have this be a Joe Mazzulla episode either, but that's part of coaching too, is understanding your personnel and their personality. Yeah. And if we need this dude to take X number of shots, but I can sense tonight that he's not going to go get them for himself. That's why teams have coaches. That's why it's not player coaches. So you have someone who's not in the game able to kind of direct some of that stuff.